I want to talk for a second about something I realized about self-help and like all of human culture in general. People really like winning. They like the idea of winning. You know, I can talk about people, but really I'm talking about me. I like winning. I like being in like a stadium and watching people try to win, and then I like seeing the people I like winning. I like this in every aspect of life, with politics or like programming languages, right? It's satisfying to see something that you like win. And so there's like culture and discussion about the concept of winning. It's like, okay, yeah, you got to work hard, you got to train smart. But like my issue with this is like, this is not where the actual winning comes from. Because it's all discussion, because it's all stadium, because it's all like flags, podcasts, books. You got stuff like Atomic Habits. You got stuff like the 4-Hour Workweek. All of these things is just discussion about some idea, right? It's like kind of like wandering around in a circle around this thing at the center, which is like success almost, but even kind of something like even more in the center of that, right? Like I'm just going to propose, take something like painting. You know, they've got their microphone here and they're like talking about painting. There's a lot of people who talk about the process of painting. You know, there's like art historians, people who categorize and catalog success in this area of life. There's giant museums filled with paintings and like well-written descriptions and a lot of upkeep. Like my point is just that all of this, none of this is actually painting. It's all stuff that's like around painting. You know what I mean? It's all discussion about painting, how one would paint the best. You know what I mean? And the realization I had was not only is meta discussion about a thing not actually helpful for doing the thing, but it's almost entirely useless for success. If you look at it as like the reason for why you're doing it. Let me like explain, because this is kind of subtle. So like if you're really into like painting museums and you see all the paintings in the museums, you're like, wow, I kind of want to be up there on that wall with my name there. I mean, you can succeed for ego-driven reasons. Let me backtrack for a second. The thing I'm trying to say is like if this is painting and this is the meta discussion, right? Somebody who's really, really good at painting, like a master, actually just walks directly and then paints. They sit down and paint, and they do that a lot. And there's not really anything that special about that. And maybe coincidentally, they read Atomic Habits, you know what I mean, and 4-Hour Workweek. And they read these things as a means to an end for painting, right? As like the only reason why they're reading Atomic Habits in the 4-Hour Workweek is so that they can get better at painting, and they don't really care about feeling good about themselves or any other, like there's a lot of reasons for why you would do the meta stuff that's not about the actual thing. But the vast majority of people who consume stuff like Atomic Habits or 4-Hour Workweek, including me, I gotta stop saying people, I'm talking about me. When I consume like Atomic Habits or self-help books or just like ideas about self-help, I'm engaging in meta discussion as an entirely separate, it has an entirely separate ambition compared to actually doing the work that I want to do. I would say like the average expected ratio of like meta to actual in game development specifically, which is what I'm doing, it should be like 1 meta to 50 actual. Let me get like more concrete. So this is a YouTube video by a very, very smart man with very strong sideburn talking about the gameplay, just the netcode of Overwatch, right? And this video is like gold, right? It's like 30 minutes or an hour. It's a GDC talk. It's gold. But the thing is, I watched this 1-hour GDC talk and then put like 100 hours into implementing the netcode and debugging it and thinking about it myself. It's more like 1 to 100, right? I think that's like appropriate because this is kind of a meta discussion. And it's very, very easy to get lost in the sauce and just spend all day watching stuff about doing the actual work. Like at the end of the day, Atomic Habits of 4-Hour Workweek like matter like zero. It matters like nothing at all. It's like it's an inconsequential like speck of dust on a true seeker's path to success, right? Like if you truly just want to paint, then just go paint and like who cares? You know what I mean? If you truly want to make games, then you just go make games. And then it's like, it doesn't matter. Really, it's a meta discussion, which might give you 5 or 10% more. Or in this case, this was probably like a 25% boost. It was pretty significant. But you have to mind, like, it's not often that you're going to find stuff that's this helpful for something that you're trying to do and whatever you're trying to do. That's all. Anyways, for my game Astros, I did a lot more work today on trying to figure out netcode bugs. There's a whole thing which I think I'll explain tomorrow about the physics needing to be done at what's called a fixed time step. It's kind of interesting. I don't really know if I should be going super technical in these videos or if I should be talking about more general principles I see come up in my day, stuff that I find interesting that's more generally applicable, because the technical stuff is just kind of like It's more documenting. What do you mean? I don't know. I guess that's more documenting the thing I'm working on instead of my feelings. This is about my feelings, which I guess is interesting. That's all I got for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell. Click the link in the description to play the game I'm working on for free, which you didn't see at all in this video, except there's one little screenshot. Just trust me that it's really good.